Oi, lads.
Hello. So, I've been thinking. I think Haughty Djinn's a good card. But I think Mono Blue is a bad deck. So, I've been thinking about how do we make Mono Blue better? Well, I mean, obviously you need to add another colour. What are your choices? You can add white, but the thing about Djinn is you want some good 2-mana cards, right? That Djinn can discount down to 1. I mean, that's pretty much the most important thing. Outside the blue, there's actually not that many amazing ones, to be honest. So, instants or sorceries, of course. Black, you get Go for the Throat. That's probably the most popular one in Standard, so we're going to try black. You can play red as well, alongside your blue, I suppose. That's not... You're not going to get too many good 2-mana instants and sorceries from red, but you do get Fable. And I mean... I think it's time that we might need to admit that Fable's a pretty good card, huh? But it's okay. So we're gonna try blue black. Now, if you're gonna add black, what cards do you take? Well, Cut Down and Go for the Throat are obviously massive improvements upon the blue removal spells. Like, I mean, Fade and Hope. It's just a bad card. It can be okay if you're like recurring it or if you're using it with Djinn to get in for a big attack, but Go for the Throat and Cut Down should remove most of the threats that we're coming up against, and they're just better cards, right? So that's a big improvement for going blue-black. And then we also get to play Shelly. Shelly is going to play well with Thirst for Discovery. I've went for Bank Buster instead of... Impulse would be in this slot, I suppose, if you're playing mono blue. But Shelly wants cards that actually say draw, right? Yeah, Impulse finds you a card, but it doesn't actually draw, so you don't get the 2 life. And obviously Bank Buster is just a completely fine replacement for Impulse. It's a great card. It plays really nice with all the instant speed stuff. As long as you're playing 2 colours in Standard, Thirst for Discovery is still okay, so we can keep that in from Mono Blue. Still got 14 basics. You're going to have to discard 2 cards to your Thirst a little bit more often than you would in Mono Blue, but that's okay. It's still decent, especially if you can get a discount with Djinn, especially if you've got Shelly in play, it would make it even better. And then we've just got the usual other blue cards, but some counters and consider. So we're going to have to play 2 Triomes, which is a little bit sus, but I think it should be okay to play only 2. The reason we have to play 2 is so that we've got enough blue sources in the deck to cast our Djinn, which is quite difficult to cast with 2 blue. We need 18 blue, which we have here if you count it up, and then you need 16 black for Shieldred, which we've got. But we have to play 2 Triomes to make up those numbers. And unless you want... I guess you could play the 2 life gain lands if you want, but I think the cycling on the Triomes is pretty good when you're playing Bank Busters, counter spells, instant speed removal, this type of shenanigans. The one downside to it is we're not able to really use the legendary lands. You could add the legendary lands, and I'm sure it's fine. It would just make your Thirst a little bit worse again, because those are not actually named basic lands. So yeah. Today we're going to try and improve on Mono Blue. It's going to be it's going to play a little bit differently to Mono Blue. We don't have quite as many counters as Mono Blue has, but it's not too far off. But we've got better creatures. Djinn is already like huge removal bait, so I'm expecting to see our Shieldreds stay on board more often than they normally do in some other decks. So yeah, let's play some games. Let's see if we've made Mono Blue better or worse. Alright, game 1 on the draw. Looks like we're playing... Well... this hand looks familiar to many Mono Blue players. And from my experience, looks like it's good enough. It's nice to know that we can just play Mono Blue if we have to. I'm hoping to find some black mana and some black cards. So, against a deck like Soldiers, this is a matchup where our black cards should help a lot. way better to actually remove a card than it is to just kind of counter it, right? Or to bounce it. Sorry. Okay. Found the black mana. Now it's time to find our removal spells, find our Shellies, find our Djinns. We're on the draw against soldiers, which is, I mean, that's a little awkward, but it's huge for us that they didn't have a turn 2 play, though. Okay, there's our Shelly. Alright, all of a sudden, looks okay. Still only taking 1 a turn. There's a Siege Veteran, we'll counter that again. So interesting, do we save the Consider? So we could play it after we have Shieldred down, it will gain us a bit of life. The problem is that if they remove the Shieldred with a Cathar or something, it's going to be a bit awkward because we might not draw a land that we otherwise would have drawn if we go for the Consider, and then we've kind of got less mana to turn around that Cathar, but on balance I think it's okay to wait. Even if they have a Cathar here, I mean, we've got Thirst for Discovery, right? We get to dig 3 cards, we get a card off the top of our deck for our draw step, we get to see another 4 cards, and we'll have 2 mana left over to remove that Cathar. So, I would like to think that this Brutal Cathar is about to die, but let's see. It is. Okay, great. We'll discard that island. Alright, and now we do get kinda paid off here for saving the Consider, because we can go cut down, get the Shieldred back, and then we will be able to Consider and get that 2 life. I could have used cut down in response to the Sky Strike Officer. They wouldn't be able to draw this card here, but I think it's okay. I mean, we've got so much card advantage that we can give them a card to save. What was that? We saved 3 life because we stopped them attacking with their 2 creatures because they had to hold them back to take the draw. And here, we start abusing all our card draw. And we start gaining a lot of life. Little stop there, looks like opponent's got an Eiganjo. Not seeing any reason to play these lands, to be honest. Don't have a basic in hand at the moment, so we might have to discard 2 to Thirst. So we can save those lands. We've got the Djinn discount anyway, we've got Shelly in place, so it's not the worst. Here comes some soldiers nonsense. Yeah, so we know the last card is the Eiganjo, the deal 4, so we'll take 2. Take 2, we'll draw 3. That is the downside to Thirst in this deck, discarding 2 a little bit more often. But here's the upside, gain 6 life. 1 mana go for the throat, feels damn good. But let's draw 3 again. There's another Shelly, another Djinn. And we're playing against soldiers. And we appear to be on 32 life. So that seems good. We don't want to give up the Shelly here, not when they're on 12. They can draw, they'll take another 2. I wouldn't have attacked with that Djinn if I didn't have another one in hand. But this is fine. This actually lets our Shelly attack in the future too, and we can attack with this Djinn. They're still dead to 1 Djinn attack, so... Okay. Well, that was an incredible first game. I'll take it. Let's go next. Alright, game 2. On the draw again, we've got Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is in the deck for the games when you're on the draw. Unfortunately, only a tap land for blue turn 1. But I think we've got to keep this, man. I mean, weird hand to mull. If I sound a little bit different today, you can blame Oliver for that. I mean, there's some sort of baby conspiracy going round right now where it feels like their entire aim is in life is just to make me as ill as possible. It's pretty toxic, but sure. Okay, Counterspell and Rafina's good. Obviously we hate to see Denick in play, but at least the Spell Pierce wouldn't have worked anyway. Spell Pierce is pretty nice here though. We can get the Bankbuster down, and opponent probably not scared of anything here, but it looks like they're a legendary creature deck, sadly. So we're unlikely to get anything with the Pierce. Thalia is annoying. So we can Jin, and we would have Pierce available, but again, unfortunately only got two blue. This is one of the downsides to not playing straight mono blue. I mean, this is one of the downsides to not playing a monocolor in general, but it can happen. But I suppose we're going to have to pass in that instance. Can't really play Jin out with no protection. I mean, maybe we could play Jin if it had 3 power, then at least if it gets removed, at least we can crew the Bankbuster and save a bit of life on the attacks, but here, I don't think it's worth it. If we need the Spell Pierce, we've got it. If we need the Scatter, we've got it. I mean, I'd rather not have to use the Scatter though, because that means we're not getting to draw with the Bankbuster because of the Thalia attacks, but you know what happens. Alright, let's draw. Gotta do something fast though, or we're dead, man. There's another blue, and we can use the Jin now. Still a bit scared here though. A little bit scared, I must say. Fast start from opponent, slow start from us on the draw. These are the games that are hard to win, but let's see. Okay, it's a 1-mana Otawara. Obviously, that's pretty good here. Looks like we probably shouldn't be dead on this turn though, which means if we can get another Bankbuster draw off, then our Bankbuster draw next turn will at least make a token. But we are going to 4, I mean, it's hard to win on 4 life against 3 creatures. Maybe we could draw one of our black removal spells that we've built the entire deck around. Alright, man, I guess not. Sure. Well, we got to try Jin again. No option. We've got Jin, Bankbuster draw, make a treasure, make a token, Spell Pierce available. We're not dead on board, but we're pretty dead. Air tie, huh? Air tie. So if we scatter, we're just dead on board. If we draw... Let's see. It's got to be this, so let's see what happens. Alright, we're dead. That was pretty unfortunate though. Didn't find any of our black cards. And these heavy creature matchups, like Esper Legends, these are the ones where your black cards are your best cards, right? So obviously if we draw none, we're going to be in big trouble. I'd like to see a game where, well, see what would happen if we did draw some, so let's keep going. Alright, game 3. On the draw this time. Nice mix of cards. Got some draw, got some counters, got some removal, got a creature. What's not to like? I guess the fact that we don't have a third land is something not to like, but I'm sure we can find one. There we go. Alright, this could be our... this could be our big game. They might be mono blue. They are. Okay. Do we play a Jin? If we play a Jin, if they bounce it, it's okay. If they counter it... I mean, if they counter it, it's okay, right? Either I'm playing a Jin on this turn, or I'm waiting until I've got 5 lands, so... yeah, sure. Okay, it did resolve. It looks like they do have a bounce, but that's okay. It's 1 bounce down. So we know no essence scatters, no make disappears in their hand. And we did take them off of like card draw for a turn. So I guess we have to slam another one, right? We've got to assume that it's going to resolve, and then this time we'll actually have make disappear to protect it though. Let's see. Yep, and this is where our go for the throats are going to be so much better than their fading hopes, right? Because we can just keep casting Jin. They won't be able to keep casting Jin after we kill theirs, hopefully. Okay, I guess we're going play our own Jin for the 3rd time. And here's where we get paid off with our go for the throats. Interesting choice here when they counter it. Fade and hope, I mean, I think we've just got to let it resolve again, right? Why not? Why not? At some point this Jin is gonna stick. Let's try again. Essence scatter, okay. I would have saved that land if the Jin resolved, because we could do 2 mana thirst and we could discard that land. But I think I'll counter their impulse. But when it gets countered, we want to play it so that we can cast it, right? A bit of regret from playing it now because we actually had something to counter, but they're getting towards having a decent amount of lands now, so we do want to make use of that make disappear while we can. Alright, well, we can go Jin. Jin will discount go for the throat to 1, and we'll still get 2 left over to pay the tax, to pay the ward. So I suppose we're doing that. Let's go to their turn. At least if they have a counter spell now, it's going to cost them a bit of their turn. And here, yeah, I mean, I'm feeling good. Our go for the throats are looking much better than Fade and Hope is. Obviously, we didn't really want to see that, but we have Shelly in our deck, which we could draw. Okay. Okay, so that's not good. That is not good. We can't race. There's no way we're getting to 15 next turn. So are you telling me we're blocking? Well, I'm not happy about it, but I mean... we can't attack for 5 and take 10. And if we can't attack for 5, then we're blocking. What else is there to be done? Alright. If you're gonna get flooded, drawing a Bankbuster is pretty good. Okay, but then your Bankbuster is supposed to draw you some non-lands too, though. That's the next part of the plan. Your Bankbuster is supposed to draw you some non-lands. Don't worry, okay? This is fine. This is fine. 11 lands against 5? This is fine. Right. Okay, Sheoldred, comma, the Apocalypse is quite the card. Let's play that one out. Our Bankbuster is about to give us the token, at least, which can block the Terror. If we get Sheoldred into play, we'll get 2 life from the Bankbuster, which will put us up to 7. Make disappear. I pay. What? Let's play a land. We don't really need to save more than 1 land at any point. Got 3 thirsts, but as long as we've got 1 land, it's okay. Right, let's pass. Still got negate, still got make disappear, I mean... Not the worst, is it? Let's take our draw, see what's up. Not the best time for a spell pierce, but sure. There is a go for the throat. Fantastic. Alright, and our black cards making the difference here. So far. This Terror must be dead with all of these counter spells that we've got to protect the go for the throat. Negate. Nope. Yeah, we'll pay the ward. Make disappear. Again, I pay. Alright. This insane flood continues, but... we're still doing okay. Alright. I mean, they're going to 2. I'm not sure what they can do on 2 life. Against 2 counters. Oh no, they go to 0, yeah, because I hadn't counted the 2 damage from their draw step yet. Alright. Well, that was a very good sign. We came up in like this kinda mirror, mono blue versus our blue with the black removal and the Shellies. Our go for the throats were better than their Fading Hopes. Our Sheoldred was better than their Tolarian Terror. The rest of the deck was kinda the same. So we win. And just like we drew it up, guys. Alright, let's go for one more. Alright, our final game on the play. I mean, it's hard to tell, but this looks like a great hand. We've had a nice mix of opponents so far. We've had Soldiers on the draw, Esper Legends on the draw, and Mono Blue on the play. We're on the play here. Let's see if we can get another different deck as an opponent. It looks like it's going to be. Like, it could be Esper, I guess. Alright, on the play, we definitely want to get this Bankbuster down. Can abuse it with their removal, with their counters. It's Mardu. Okay, we do get a 4th different opponent. Very nice. Let's see. I go Harvester. Alright, so I hope they don't do anything that forces me into a counter or anything, but Mardu's very sorcery speed, very proactive, so they probably will make us counter something here, like a Fable or something, because I need to draw a land. If we can make it to a 4th land, we're chilling. 2nd Harvester, though. Okay, I think we can take a draw here. The 4th land is just so goddamn important here. It lets us play Jin with a removal, it lets us play Jin with a counter, it lets us play Shelly, lets us hold up Bank Buster. Yeah, we can pass here. No need to rush on the Jin. Jin would just die to the Harvesters anyway, right? Harvester is another creature where it benefits us a lot to have the Go for the Throats and the Cut Downs over the Fate and Hopes that you would only have in Mono Blue. Because they're getting these blood tokens, they get a bunch of value from them, you know. They do attack for 3 power, so we gotta remove one. We can't just keep taking 6 and hope it goes well. I mean, I'd like to counter their next play and draw a card off a Bank Buster and stuff, but I mean, that's so goddamn greedy, isn't it? You really would prefer to use the counters on the creatures that have ETBs, right? So we probably want to use a removal spell on this Gyada. So I think Gyada is one that we can let resolve and go for another Bankbuster draw. Okay. Apparently the only cards in this deck are Go for the Throats, Make Disappears, Jins, and Shellys. I mean, I'm not going to complain though. Those are 4 pretty good cards. Let's see. So I think we're in a position here because we missed a land drop. We can't really kill the Gyada on our turn. We're gonna have to give in a turn with Gyada, but I'm feeling pretty good. I think we can swing this game. Next turn, the Jin can come down with the treasure, and the Jin will be able to have 2 cards available. That's a creature you want to counter. You don't want to let them get their value from it on ETB. That lets us take our Bankbuster draw. And now it's time to start deploying the Jin. We'll take our cut down on the Gyada. And I think we're getting in for 4. Got this treasure available, got Go for the Throat, got Make Disappear. Gyada, again, that's a creature we remove, that's not a creature we counter. We'll counter the Go for the Throat. We get the concede and another win. I think that's a bit of an early concede from opponent, but they don't know what our hand is, and given what our hand is, there is no way they're winning that game. So yeah, that was pretty good. Let's take another look at the deck and yeah, let's go over what was good, what was not. All right, well, our goal was to make Mono Blue a bit better, and what were the questions that we asked? We asked what are the weaknesses of Mono Blue? The weaknesses are that they don't really have removal. They have tempo plays like Fade and Hope where you can slow the opponent down. But whatever creature you're bouncing with Fade and Hope, it's always going to come back down. Yeah, sometimes you get to counter those creatures when they come back down, but you've still used 2 cards. Sometimes, preferably, you get to bounce the creature with Fade and Hope and then do a big attack with your Jin, and the game is just either over or so close to over that even though they get to replay the creature, it doesn't matter. But you can avoid all those the kind of bad situations with Fade and Hope, while also getting to keep the good ones by just using a real removal spell. So we get to use Cut Down and Go for the Throat, 2 of the best ones in Standard. We got a massive creature upgrade going from the Terror to Sheoldred, so yeah, I think those black cards worked out. We didn't miss impulse. Like our bank busters were good. We used the token from the bank buster, the creature token, to get a few blocks off. So yeah, I think that went well. We didn't really miss any of the blue cards that are not in the deck. The thirst for discovery having less basics, it wasn't too much of a hit. I think we discarded 2 cards once, and it was a game that we were flooding anyway. It was no problem. So yeah, we went 3-1. Our only loss was to Esper Legends on the draw, where we didn't actually draw any of our black cards, so we were just playing mono blue anyway. Yeah, I'm happy with how that went. If you want to give it a try, the deck list is below, and I'll see you for the next video. Peace.
Ecuador. Ecuador.